Welcome back, friends. Today, by request, we're making cheesy garlic breadsticks. So if that sounds tasty to you, stick around and I'll show you how we do that. We're going to start by peeling and dicing a bulb of garlic. Now I'm just going to add all these to the magic bullet and let that do the work for me. I'm going to add that to about 3 tablespoons of melted butter in a small saucepan. After that cooks down for a minute, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. Slowly add 3/4 of a cup of milk, making sure to mix it thoroughly. Once that starts to thicken, we're going to take it off the heat and let it rest while we work on our crust. Now for our crust, we're going to start with 1 cup of warm water, 1 packet or about 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast, 2 1/2 cups of high gluten flour. If you don't have high gluten flour, you can use all-purpose, but if you can add about 3 teaspoons of Vital wheat gluten, that'll really help the texture and consistency a lot. But even without that, it'll work with all-purpose flour. Next comes a 1/4 cup of olive oil and a pinch of salt. We're going to throw in our dough hook and mix that on the lowest speed. If you don't have a mixer, you can certainly mix it by hand and then knead it on a lightly floured surface. Either way, we're going to turn it out onto a lightly floured surface after forming it into a ball. I'm just going to kind of roll the back in on itself and then bring that together to make a nice ball, and then set that down on our floured surface, get it floured well, and then we're going to take a rolling pin and roll it out. Make sure to turn it every so often to try to keep it as round as possible. Once I get it close to the size of my pan, I'm going to give it a little stretch and pull by hand, paying special attention to the edges here, just working around that a little bit, stretching it out a little bit. And I just want to get it to the edge of the pan. I don't want it to be falling over the edge, but I don't want it to go too far. If you don't have a round pizza pan, you can always use a sheet pan or a cookie sheet or whatever. It really doesn't matter. Once we've got our dough all spread across the pan, we're going to go ahead and add our sauce to it and spread that out. Now to that, we're going to add 8 ounces of whole milk mozzarella. We're just going to spread that out evenly across the whole thing here. Now I like to top mine with a really healthy shake of oregano. Now we're going to throw this into a 400-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Once that cheese starts to brown a little bit, it's about perfect. So we're going to pull it out and let it cool for a few minutes. Now I like to cut it in half once and then perpendicular to that. And there you have it, cheesy garlic breadsticks.